Hey, Florida chick here. um, I'm not doing a Minnesota report, but I am able to report that I safely made it back from Tulsa, Oklahoma, back to my folks' house in Minnesota. I just got back. I don't even know what time it is right now. Like, I got back like 2 something. And when I had stopped at like a couple gas stations, I ended up like just kind of resting and taking some time. The light reflecting off my glasses is bugging the fuck out of me right now. So anyway, it ended up being like 12 hours, but considering I really didn't sleep when I got to Tulsa, and it's kind of like just the fun bus ready to go. I'll lose all the wheels. Plus, I had a surprising, triggering grief thing happen. So I was kind of having an off day on Wednesday. But, the highlight of the day was on Wednesday. I got to meet a bunch of widows and widowers that I have seen on my private Facebook group that I belong to. And it just really blessed my heart because they get together all the time. It's a big group. And they were just so welcoming, and they weren't sure if I was coming because I ended up coming late, and I came late because I was having a bad day. Plus, my phone, like I said, is on hospice. I need to get that fixed now that I'm back in Minnesota. And when I went to leave, it just loses the directions and won't give me I have to pull over and turn things off if it doesn't want to cooperate, kind of thing. I'm trying to see how I can sit where the light doesn't reflect. God. So, I can talk like this, or I can talk like this. I don't care. Anyway, I just can't talk like this because it's bugging me. Um, so anyway, you know, um, whenever it comes to me actually like getting on the road, it can be stressful for me, but that's just my own thing I have to push through. But I always like to learn as I go through life. So for me, the takeaway is being able to push through stuff. I find all these cool adventures. I see things I wouldn't have seen. I get to meet wonderful, beautiful people I would have never met otherwise. I mean, even at the meetup I did with the widows and widowers, you know, I like to call them like happy accidents in life, So if it wasn't for me deciding to go to Tulsa to go to this monthly meetup that they do, when it was kind of like in between the entire time I'm going to be in Minnesota helping my folks out, I would have missed out not only on that, but then ended up meeting somebody there and talking, and we just had a really good time. And I have to say, like, after having that shitty, being clotheslined by grief, like sometimes, there's different stages of grief, and there's no timeline of how long it takes to get through the different stages. There's no rules on when it starts and stops. I mean, yes, there's like anniversary dates and stuff that I'm aware of and I can work around and work through. But I think the hardest ones are the ones that I didn't see coming. And that one, not only is it knocking on the door, it's kicking my ass. And that's hard. So it was just nice to meet someone and just kind of chill and de-stress and just have a moment with someone I would have never imagined because I wasn't even looking to meet anyone or have a good time like that. I just, or to have someone that I could just kind of take the edge off of the, oof. It's almost like a poison sometimes, if you haven't followed me, my late husband was abusive and unremorseful to his last breath. So to be around people that are positive and beautiful, I like to add people to my life that are kind of like soul food. I try to be like soul food to people too. I'm also a ball buster, so I'm like a little bit of an anomaly or enigma or something like that, or just my own special sauce, for lack of better terminology. But anyway, I also want to be like soul food to people, and I want to have people in my life that add to my life instead of take away. I had a lot of that, before, and I'm kind of done with that. So I don't care if my circle is small. I just care the type of people in my circle, like the substance and soul food, something comforting. I want to be comforting for someone, and I want people in my life to be comforting for me. And I don't know how easy it is to find. I don't think it's too much to ask for, but I think it's harder to find. So when I come across those things, like, wasn't looking for that, wasn't nothing. And it happens. So happy accidents, right? And so, yeah, between not sleeping the day before driving and just kind of having a good time in Tulsa, I just wanted to, I never really got to go explore Tulsa because of my hard day. I just kind of, I was trying to sleep, but I couldn't. So I just stayed in my hotel room though most of the day. So it was nice to meet some new tour guides, I guess, for Tulsa and everything. So, like I said earlier, and like I usually say in my videos I do, and hopefully, I don't even know, this is probably going to go over 20 minutes. Like the last one was 20 minutes. That was for a 10-hour, 45-minute trip down to Tulsa from here. This was over 12 hours for me this time. So, God only knows how long this video will be and if I can even upload it. But anyway, so I like to learn as I go through life. So when I went down to Tulsa from Minnesota, at the end, I took a no toll road, which was a little bit longer, but I wasn't sure how the tolls worked, if you can pay in cash or if you needed a pass or if you just pay by plate, where they take a picture and send it to your house, whatever. So I thought, okay, well, what I'll do is I'll take the no toll road and then ask around so I'm prepared when I go to get on it. So what happened is I took the toll road, and the people I spoke to in Tulsa were like, well, it's just pay by the plate, so they'll just mail you a bill. And in Florida, we have a lot of toll roads. So we had a Sun Pass and an Easy Pass. And I don't even know what the fuck my pass is called right now, but it's supposed to like cover for both. And I need to get one that covers up to Chicago now. I think that, because I want to take Chicago on the way back. And, but I'll have to see if my pass will do it or not. Because surprisingly enough, when I first got on the toll road in Oklahoma to go back to Minnesota, I needed to get gas, but I didn't see a gas station around where I was staying at the Hard Rock Hotel. So I'm like, I'm not going to have what happened on the way down where I'm in the middle of nowhere and I'm almost out of gas. So first gas station I see, I'll take. So I just get on the toll road, right? And I see a sign for gas. So I'm like, okay. And they, people had told me like, oh, it's like the turnpike's like down in like the turnpike down in Florida where it's like you get on there, you want gas, you just exit on and off. You don't have to like get off and exit and go, where the hell is this gas station and how far away is it, right? It's just like right there, on and off. Well, this one wasn't that, so I take the exit and it's like a loop around and then you go down this road. It's not too far, but to get back, you have to turn right, go down a ways, whip a U-turn, and then come back. And it's weird because they have on the exit for the gas station, it had pay with your pass or exact change. That's it, right? Coming back from the gas station, get back on the toll road, neither of those. It's just a pay by the plate camera. So I'm just like, well, fuck it. I went through the pass the first time because I'm like, just, take a picture of my plate, whatever. And then later on the toll road, I ended up, there's a spot where you can pull over to the right and pay in cash, or you can continue going straight and not have to stop with your pass. So I almost just went straight through without stopping to pay because I didn't have like change or small bills. So, what happened? Maybe if I hold, anyway, maybe if I do this. This was like a trick when I used to do photography. Hold on. This was like a trick. Oh, yeah, there we go. It does. Ooh, okay. You kind of have to angle it right. So, there's still a little glare, but not as bad. So anyway, I kind of look like I haven't been in an accident though. Anyway, so I went to pay with my larger bill, and I said, "I'm sorry, this is the only money I have." And she was gonna give me change, and all of a sudden she looks and she goes, "Oh, do you have a Sun Pass?" And I said, "Yeah, something like that, Easy Pass, Sun Pass." And it showed that it paid. So she said they just accepted Florida's passes to pay on their toll roads. So hopefully there won't be any bill that comes in the mail for me once I get back home. So that's cool to see. So maybe Chicago kind of changed, but I don't know. Every state is different. So the other thing that was neat about Oklahoma and Tulsa was I got there at night when I showed up. So this time I'm leaving in the afternoon, and since I had been in my hotel like the next day trying to just rest and whatever, I ended up getting to see what Oklahoma looks like. Never saw Oklahoma in real life before, in person. So I was surprised at the rolling hills and this and that. But yeah, that was really cool to see. So I'm glad I got to see it during the day, and yeah, so let's see. So many things happened. So then what happened is I only had to do 4 states instead of 5. So on the way down, it was Minnesota, Iowa, Missouri, Kansas. Missouri, Kansas. I'm really tired. And then Oklahoma. This time on the toll road, it is Oklahoma, Missouri, Iowa, and Minnesota. So, Minnesota is the shortest part because my parents live south of the Twin Cities. So it's like maybe, I don't know, like an hour and a half once you get to the border from Iowa on up. So that's an easy stretch. It's just like, and I'm trying to think, I don't know how long Oklahoma was, but Missouri was the longest, I think. Yeah, I think it was longer than Iowa. I'd have to double check it all. But anyway, so in Missouri, first of all, it was hot as fuck in Oklahoma. Hot, hot, hot. Like low 90s, but it just felt like an oven. And even though I had the top of my car and I had the air on, when I had the windows down to smoke, it was just like, it was like a sauna. The AC was having a hard time keeping up. It was just hot, hot, hot. Excuse me. And it was like that all the way. I don't know why I'm coughing like this when it's just me in front of a camera. I'm not gonna get you sick. I'm not even sick, it's my allergies. But anyway, I guess it's a habit. It's a good habit to have, right? So yeah, so in Missouri, and the traffic was really good for the most part, but the one thing I realized on both trips is I did really well with the speed limit for the majority of the time, right? It's like a bad habit to want to like go fast, zoom, zoom, right? That's what Mazda's known for in their commercials. So anyway, I was telling myself, look, if I've gone so many hours, like 4 hours straight, staying within the speed limit at a reasonable amount. I mean, within the speed limit, like, I don't know, 75. If it's 70 miles an hour, 75 to 79, right? So if I can do that 3-4 hours straight, then when I get back home to Florida in the Orlando area, like if I want to go to Daytona, which is like an hour and some change away, like I think it really has to do with the traffic. Like when I start to feel like claustrophobic and just I gotta breathe, and like a bunch of cars in different lanes going slow, blocking everyone in. If people just moved over and let people pass, and then when you go to pass, it would make things easier. And then I think even more annoying is the people that come up on your ass real quick, even if you're in like the lane to the right of them, right? And they're coming to pass you, and then all of a sudden they start going the same speed as you, or they start to slow down, and it's this back, and then they start to go ahead, and then they slow down, and back and forth. That stuff irks the fuck out of me. Like, just pick a speed, okay? Like, most cars have cruise control, if not all. I mean, if it's an older car, whatever. But I mean, my God, if the traffic is going smooth, you can just do cruise. I mean, that's my opinion, but opinions are like belly buttons and buttholes. Everyone's got them, and not everyone likes them. So do with it what you want, But yeah. So when I was going through, well, I'm saying we, me, myself, and I guess, we're going through Kansas City. It was like 6 o'clock, something like that. 6, 7, I don't know, something like that. So it's like rush hour-ish, or just finishing up or whatever, and it's getting hilly and stuff, and the traffic is getting thick. But the problem is the people that want to go slow or in the left lane, and then back and forth, and it's like there's these windows I see up ahead down the road, right? Looking to the right, looking to the left, that kind of stuff. And so me and some other cars are kind of like, I guess it would be, how would you put it? Like traffic or Autobahn basket weaving? I don't know. Like weaving in and out. So it's just one of those things. And it's hard too when you have like a semi truck that pulls over to pass. Like that even happened to me tonight in Minnesota. It's like, or Iowa, one of the two. It's like the speed limit is 70. There's no one behind me. I'm coming up on you, but you want to pull over. All right, fine. In front of me, also behind you. I get it, to a point. But when the speed limit is 70 and you're barely passing the semi truck on the right of you and you're doing 60, oh my God. Jesus, take the wheel. Like, for real. Jesus, take the wheel. That stuff I can't stand. Or why couldn't you just wait till I just zoom by? Like, I mean, a couple seconds really wasn't going to make or break your move passing this dude or dudette, like, God. So, anyway, I haven't been coughing till I came here. So I don't know. I don't know if it's the stuff outside or what. But anyway, yeah, so not only was it like weaving in and out, and then it's like kind of hilly and curvy and stuff, so it is a little bit of fun, right? But then for un poquito, a little bit, me and a Mustang got to kind of like zoom back and forth with each other. So it was kind of like, two cats kind of playing, or having a race or something. But so yeah, I went. Thank God I didn't get caught during those speeds but it was so short-lived. Ugh. It's a bad habit of mine, but I'm getting better at it. So you know what? The way I look at stuff in life is 3 ways, right? Things in life can either stay the same, get better, or get worse. So last year when I came to my parents' house, I think I left like June 4th to come up last year. And I don't know, 5 hours into my drive, like mile 30, 31, Cecil, Georgia. If any of you drive through Cecil, Georgia, okay, first of all, here's a big cue they put up there. When you start to see those billboards about speeding tickets and DUIs and stuff like that, it's heavily policed there for speeding tickets. And they're just known for it. And if you're out of state, you can either, the options are, you can't pay online. You can either pay over the phone, and then of course they're going to charge you a transaction fee for using a credit card because you can't do cash over the phone. There's no cash apps or anything like that. Or the other option they give you is to do it in person. So, yeah. So whenever I go through Cecil, I'm very well behaved and doing this at the same time. I'm telling them to suck my dick, right? So anyway, yeah. So luckily I didn't get any tickets because I got one last year, and so I've tried to be really, really good. I gotta do more work when I go back to Orlando because it's the little trips I take sometimes too. It's you know what it is? It's just the traffic and people going slow and inconsistent driving. I hate that. So, the thing I notice is like the Midwest is like a lot of wide open spaces for land, and it can be for traffic too. It sucks when there's a big traffic jam and you're in the middle of what the fuck. But yeah, so for me, thank God I didn't get pulled over doing that, because I might have. Did I tap 100? I don't know. But really short lived. But God, it felt good. It just felt good to kind of like sprint a little bit on the strip. And then the gas stations I stopped at, I ended up taking a little more time. Sometimes, like the first one I did, leaving Tulsa, as soon as I go to leave, all of a sudden my directions aren't working. Ugh, so I have to wait on that. Even when I went to leave Hard Rock, the directions stopped right at the beginning. So I'm like, ugh. So anyway, so Missouri wasn't that miserable. Just that annoying traffic, but for the most part it was good. And then, oh yeah, I mean there was like some beautiful, almost sunset that I think I got in Missouri. Yeah. And then when I got to Iowa, there's a beautiful sunset that I saw there. And right before that, there was a car on fire on the other side of the road. So I did a video of that while driving by, and just like holding it like this while I'm looking straight ahead, just out the side. I hope everyone's okay in that. But it's crazy to think of the stuff you come across. And then, oh, I forgot to mention on the way down, but it reminded me on the way back to Minnesota tonight. So my Miata is a small 2-seater car, if you don't know. And it does sit low to the ground. And some people even choose to sit it lower to the ground. Especially after doing this road trip, I won't ever do that, put my car lower to the ground, because deer are really present in the Midwest. I know even in Florida, like almost to Key West, there's the deer key. They're cute. They're like little small miniature deer, but still, they can hop out in front of you and stuff. So, yeah, on the way down and the way back, there was I think it's deer. That's my best guesstimate. I mean, it was kind of like unrecognizable, but it was a dead carcass in my lane each time. And, it fit between my two wheels, but then afterwards I'm like, I'm just glad it cleared like the bottom of my car, because I mean, what if it had like a big belly or something, or hips that don't lie? I mean, oh my God, I don't want to drag a dead animal or any animal. Oh my God. So, with that, but like tonight when I'm driving back and it's nighttime or almost nighttime, and I see these deer signs, and I'm like, okay. I've seen them my whole life. My parents live in the country, so deer are huge. But all of a sudden, it's like, it makes me wonder, and maybe if any of you watching this knows the answer, because I'm too fucking tired to Google it, and I need to eat something and go to bed. But when I see like deer crossing 1 mile, 2 miles, 5 miles, 10 miles, right? How do they know how freaking many miles radius that they're gonna like warn you about? You ever see a deer hop out in front of the freeway? I mean, or sometimes they're just sitting there on the side, and you never, it's like a big ass squirrel that does more damage. You know what I mean? Like, you never know when they're gonna bolt or if they're just gonna pop out of the weeds out of nowhere, and they can leap, you know? So, and it makes me wonder, like I don't ever recall them really changing the parameters every year with these road signs. Like, I mean, is it like a deer crossing? Like, the deer just know, okay, this is like our crossing between point A and point B. This is where we can cross the road and possibly get killed. I don't know. I don't know how that works. And every year, you know, there's like different populations, you know, of deer, and so people hunt to thin out the population. But what if people didn't hunt as much, or what if people accidentally hunted too much? You know, how, I don't know, things that make you just go, huh, when you're really tired and driving a long time, right? And okay, so sometimes I'm kind of slow on the uptake, right, on certain things. So driving down to Tulsa and back, well, driving down to Tulsa is when like the light bulb went on in my head, right? I don't know, sometimes my brain doesn't work right. Like, I even remember being in nursing school, and there's certain concepts I just could not grasp until after doing clinicals and graduating. Like, looking back, I'm like, oh, now I get it. You know, like, sometimes things don't always connect so quickly, but once they connect really well, right? And usually I'm pretty quick on stuff, but certain things, I don't know. I just, huh. Anyway, so my point is, Phillips 66, the gas station. You know, it reminds me of like an old gas station, right? You know, because I don't see them much, and I don't see them down in Florida that I know of. But I don't know, because I was going to Route 66, and all of a sudden I just put it together like, oh, Phillips, oh my God, why didn't I ever connect the two? Has that ever happened to you? Like, maybe not with that, but with something where you're like, it's so obvious, but you just don't even really freaking know, you know? Yeah, it'd be like that sometimes, or a lot of times with me, you know? I can be completely clueless on stuff and stuff, but yeah, huh, interesting. So let me know if that ever happened to you and what it was, okay? And let's see. Yeah, when I was in Iowa, it was pretty good. Oh my God, this is 20. Oh my God, it's almost 30 minutes. I hope you made popcorn and butter and put your feet up and maybe fall asleep. Maybe this can be like a good bedtime story for you to listen to. If you can't sleep, what might listen to help me go to sleep? I don't know. I'm kind of weird like that. But anyway, yeah, I'm really tired. Tired and wired again, which when I looked at the video that I made on Tuesday, that was a pretty good one. See, I can be quick on the uptake, and sometimes I need my carburetor cleaned or something up in here. So, and this is my hobo chic outfit that I'm wearing today. I just look homeless but comfortable. So, you know, one thing I've found when doing road trips is I like to either wear a dress or pants that are tight, or pants that are like, oh, that doesn't right. Like this, you know, where it's like elastic. I'm not even really sure. Yeah, it's like elastic at the bottom. And so when I'm a germaphobe, right? So when I go to use the public restrooms at gas stations, it's always a dicey thing, you know, like, what are you gonna get in there? So what I found is if I'm wearing a dress, I don't have to worry about anything touching the floor, right? Because it's pulled up. Or if I have pants that are tight, or ones that have elastic at the bottom like that, then guess what? None of my pants drag, and I love that. So that's my tidbit. If you haven't ever tried it, it works for me. I don't know if it works for you. Oh, and I remember in Tulsa, I ate at the Route 66 restaurant, which was over at the Hard Rock Hotel. And I went to go use the bathroom before I left. And I knew it was going to be an interesting day when I sat there. Like I said, I'm a germaphobe, so I like to line the toilet seat, and they have those toilet seat liners. But I remember when I went to use the bathroom, I walk into this one stall, and I go to close the door. I'm like, oh, they don't have a purse thing. I have both my purses with me. You know, they don't have a thing to hang the purse on the back of the door. If you don't bring purses into bathrooms and have those, I don't know. Maybe as a guy, you can tell me when you've used public restrooms if they have on the back of the door like a thing to hang, whatever. Because there's a lot of guys that carry like those man bags that go across. It's like a fanny pack that they wear, diagonal on them. I would think they would. Wouldn't it be a unisex kind of door, whether it's male or female? I don't know. Well, let me know, because I don't use a men's bathroom unless it's a one-person bathroom and the woman's is full, like at the cigar bar. Like, my bladder doesn't care. So everyone will be happy if I don't have a mess. So anyway, yeah, so when I went to close the door, I'm like, there's no hooks on it. I got two purses. So I went to open the door again to go try another stall. And all of a sudden I see on the wall next to me, they put it there instead of on the back of the door. So I'm like, okay. So I go to close the door again. And just as I went to get the liner to put it on the toilet seat, it sucks it up. It just starts flushing and sucking before I even get it fully down. And what did I say to the toilet? I mean, when you start talking to a public restroom toilet, that's something else. I said to it, why you gotta be so sensitive when all you do is deal with assholes all day? So, I don't know. Have you ever talked to a toilet? That's my first time. But it was pretty funny to me anyway. So, I like to have fun with life sitchies. But, yeah, I'm very grateful the weather wasn't bad. I know, in Iowa, it's weird because it was like, I'm smelling something. I have the top open on the car and some of the windows down. It smells like I'm at like a food court or something, but like on steroids, like really strong. And I usually, in the Midwest, especially at night when you can't really see, except for the road, what's on the side of it, all of a sudden you'll get hit by a dairy farm and you're like, yeah. Well, let me tell you, what that smell was, that smelled like a food court on steroids, ended up being like a plant that makes spices. Oh my freaking God. I wanted to vomit. It was so intense. I can't even imagine like working inside there. It was like taking your whole entire spice rack at your house and like how people do that. Is it called Dutch oven or something like that? Usually guys do it if you're, if you got a significant other. And what some guys like to do with the Dutch oven, if I'm remembering the correct terminology, is that they fart and then they put the sheets and covers over their heads and their significant others to basically just have them choke and die on that essence of disgustingness, right? That's what it felt like driving through, even in the open air. Like I was in a Dutch oven, I couldn't pull the covers off, nothing. It wasn't going to go anywhere. I never thought in my entire life how much I would love the smell of a dairy farm. Oh my God, that was so refreshing. That stuff was so strong, so strong. And then, what I noticed too with my GPS, and maybe it's my hospice phone, once I get a new one to replace it, well, I have that. I just have to finish, right? Switching them over. I don't know if it's my phone or if it's just Google Maps or what, but why in Sam Hill, if I'm on the fastest route, okay, why is it showing me alternative routes that are 20 minutes longer, that are with tolls that are going to take longer or more mileage and time? I mean, because like when I was going down to Tulsa when I was on the no toll road, some roads are 70, some are 60, 45, 55. It depends. Stoplights, roundabouts, stuff like that. I mean, shit, if I would have known as soon as you leave Tulsa and you get on that toll road, 75 miles an hour. Oh my God, legally? Woohoo. Like, I'm just like, that is the bomb. So, yeah. And then it wants to recommend me getting off and taking 20 extra minutes that I really don't want to spend in the car at this point to, I don't know, pick my nose unnecessarily. I don't know. So if anyone knows the answer to that too, that would be great. Let me know. But if you, oh my God, this video is like 35 minutes and some change. Holy shit. And I don't even know if it makes any sense. I just, I do a one and done kind of video thing. I just film it. That's it. I don't like do second takes or whatever. So it either works or it doesn't. It either uploads to YouTube at this point or it doesn't, right? So if you made it to the very end, thank you. Appreciate you stalking me. Well, not stalking me, but kindly caring enough to either live vicariously through me or to just be like my cheerleader on the side, or I don't know, just out of entertainment for yourself, and enjoy it that way, right? I just want to encourage any of you that if you're afraid to do something or something is stressful, if you're able to push through the uncomfortableness, if you're able to really kind of just do the unthinkable or do something that just, like I said, is uncomfortable, doesn't feel great. I have been amazed at how many wonderful experiences, people, feelings that have been positive that I've had through that. I always like to look for the good out of the bad. And so the anxiety beforehand and at the very beginning, the stress, the worry, the whatever, that is kind of like wanting to paralyze me from doing that stuff. I'm the more I start to do it, the more comfortable I'm becoming with it. And it's really easy to remind myself why I want to do this when I can remember this experience, that experience, this, which wouldn't have happened with me just thinking about it and ruminating about it back home on my couch, And it also falls in line with, especially after being a widow and just realizing life is short and I don't like to live with regrets, and I kind of like to fly by the seat of my pants. I don't like to make plans too much because usually when I do, something happens. So I just like to wing it for the most part. But it's nice to see that it's paid off. It works out. And sometimes when it doesn't work out, other things happen. Like it didn't work out to be triggered and be dealing with grief unexpectedly. But it did work out at the end that I pushed through, even though I showed up late and wasn't quite myself. But it worked out, to talk to people and connect with them and get physical hugs and different stories from people and interactions and everything like that. I mean, that stuff, that's the good out of the bad. You know what I mean? And if I would have just stayed in my hotel room, I would have missed all of that, And so I just want to encourage you to just go out there and just live as much as you can instead of just exist through life. I mean, just to feel everything, you know what I mean? And experience as much as you want to and possibly are able to and can, because The only thing I know in life is for guarantees is once you're given your first breath, eventually you'll take your last. When? Who knows? And how? Who knows? In the meantime, life is filled with a potpourri grab bag of good, bad, and what the fuck moments, right? So I try to cultivate the good as much as possible, especially after what I've been through and am still healing from, I'm learning so much about myself, and I'm learning so much about other people along the way too. And it's really been a good experience and life lesson. So, get out there and do whatever your heart desires and allows you to be able to do, and just get those warm soul food, heart warm fuzzies as much as possible, because those are beautiful moments. And just to show you, God only knows what this looks like, but I don't really give a fuck. It's not bad. It's just really flat. But you know what? It wasn't in my face so much, and it it's not as snarly. And so, yeah. Anyway, in the meantime, again, if you made it through this, thank you very much. Enjoy. And please laugh at me, because I laugh at myself. Half the shit I say and do, I'm like, oh my God, that's some funny shit, So please, laugh with me. And if you can't laugh, I would much rather laugh than cry, okay? So, in the meantime, I want you to just have a great, beautiful life. And so much love, peace, rock and roll, and no speeding tickets.